to feel this is their year. They must be playing defensive. Schmeichel's not coming up for this one. Thinks he's done enough. Is this their moment? Beckham. Into Sheringham. And Solskjaer has won it! Manchester United have reached the promised land. Oli Solskjaer. 2 substitutes. And scored the 2 goals in stoppage time.
4,
And the treble looms large.
1.
Sorry, guys. This is all it's all over the place here. Absolutely all over the place. Wow, this is a disaster. Can you hear me? Right, you can hear me. Okay, great. You can hear me. Right, let's just leave. Right, we don't have any green screen. What is going on here? Let me just try it real quick here again. There we go. All right. Let's try that again. Welcome everybody. Anyway, thanks for joining. Apologies for all that there. Chris is in. Oshin is there. I see Martin is in as well. Good to see you guys. Yeah, but look, let's jump into it straight away. Look, we've got plenty to talk about. Obviously, the main one being the Glazers. And, you know, reports suggesting over the last couple of days that Joel and Avram Glazer are increasingly confident of securing outside investment that will enable them to remain as Manchester United owners. Now, look, huge, I suppose, breaking news. This is coming from Mark Ogden. Now, look, I completely understand that he hasn't been the most accurate when it comes to the reports in relation to the takeover of Manchester United. He's been wide of the mark a few times. But look, let's get into maybe why these kind of stories are starting to break and why, you know, we're hearing more and more rumors that maybe the Glazers might be selling. And a lot of people suggesting that it's to, you know, potentially drive up the asking price of Manchester United. And me personally, I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. I really do. I think we're too far gone now for the Glazers not to sell. I think it would be a complete and utter catastrophe if they didn't leave. And I think this whole kind of you know, oh, do we want to sell? Do we want to take, you know, minority investment, you know, so we can keep control? I think, like the majority of people are saying, it is to drive the price up of Manchester United. You put a bit of scare tactics out there in relation to the likes of Sir Jim and Al-Thani, for example. And when, you know, they hear these kind of stories, naturally, they're going to be saying, well, look, maybe should we offer them the 6 billion that they're looking for? So it's, I think it's a scare tactic out of the Glazers. I really do. We know what they're like. They care about nothing other than money. They don't care about the club. They don't care about the fan base. They don't care about who they're selling it to. They just care about money at the end of the day. But on the back of this, some reports have come out and suggested that the potential new bidders are still confident. Despite the confirmed bids from Sheikh Jassim and Radcliffe via the Ineos Group, Joel and Avram believe that the potential for organic growth over the years ahead could make Man United worth at least 10 billion. So this is continuing on the report from Mark Ogden. He also then says that Elliott Investment Management, Arias Management Corporation, and Sixth Street Partners and the Carlyle Group are all attempting to secure a stake in Manchester United, having lodged their interest with Rain Group ahead of the 28th of April deadline for third bids. Now, this group of potential bidders are minority stakeholders if they are to become involved. They don't want to remove the Glazers. Potentially, they want to just invest and get a return on their investment, whether it be 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, whatever it may be. Chris says they would lose money if they take minority investors. Their dividends would be much less each year. Yes, exactly. And Oshin says there as well, Glazers don't give a flying finger paint fuck about anything but the bottom line. I can see them staying there. Now, this is the one argument that I'm going to put out there. And we've seen over the last couple of days that shares of Manchester United PLC have fell 13% on Monday after reports that the Glazer family were confident of securing investment that would allow them to retain ownership. Now, if you were the Glazers, and let's say you care about money, okay, now let's put the two options side by side here. Okay, first and foremost, you care about money, okay, if you're going to be selling the club. Second of all, you're talking about potential investment coming in that keeps you as my majority shareholder. Now, we've seen what happened when even the slightest of rumours come out that the Glazers are going to stay. What happens to the share price of Manchester United? It plummets. Now, first and foremost, I don't understand why the Glazers would want to remain, given what they've seen with the share price when those rumours have come out. Okay? And also, from an investment standpoint, what investor would want to get in bed with the Glazers when they see how poorly the club has been run, how much the share price drops as soon as it's, you know, halfway confirmed that they might even think about staying. So I don't see it really as being a real way of the Glazers trying to stay. I see it more as the opposite, and that they're just trying to drive the price of the club up. They're trying to put scare tactics out there for potential full bidders coming in. Of course, Jim Radcliffe, Sheikh Jassim. I think it's that more than anything else. Now, reports have suggested as well, this is coming from Jamie Jackson. He says that Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani remains confident he will succeed with his bid to buy Manchester United after it emerged that the Carlyle Group, a US investment firm, wants a minority stake. And also then, that's the last one. So look, I mean, the bidders that are already there, the two main ones, Sir Jim, Al Thani, they remain confident. And look, like I said before, I think we're too far down the line for this to not happen. I really do. And what's great to hear as well, that there is huge protests being planned for the Aston Villa game in a couple of weeks' time. And I think it's perfect timing for it, because we've seen the kind of delay. Initial reports when the Glazers suggested that they were willing to sell the club back in November, reports early suggested that it could be done before the start of April. So we've seen a bit of a delay in it. So I think these kind of protests that the Manchester United fan groups are organising again, I think are perfect timing, and it's great to see. It really is. Martin says, if I was to invest, I'd want Glazers to take a trip to the moon. I don't think any Manchester United fan would disagree with you on that one, Martin. I really don't. But look, like I said, I think we're too far gone for this not to happen now. I think it's, I mean, if the Glazers stay from here on in, I mean, it would be a complete and utter disaster. It really would. It really would. I don't see... I mean, if they get offered the 6 billion, which they probably will, I think they'll even find it hard to turn it down. If they get offered even close to it, you know what I mean? Oshin says, the only thing they're doing that I don't think anyone can argue with is they would be messing with transfer plans. No sale could take place before the window opens, can it? So you're saying that no sale can take place before the transfer window opens. I'm not sure if that's the case. Like, the initial reports were suggesting that it could have been done before the start of April. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I don't see it as being a stumbling block. I really don't. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Anyway, let's get on to a bit more positive news and some hilarious news, I think, as well. So the nominees for Player of the Season, Premier League Team of the Season have been announced, and Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Marcus Rashford have all been nominated, which is great. Really is. Happy for the 4 guys to be nominated there. But I mean, come on, where in the name of God is Bruno Fernandes and David De Gea? First and foremost, let's talk about David De Gea. David De Gea is leading the clean sheet record at the moment. So he's on for the Golden Glove. Okay, we know his limitations, but a goalkeeper's job is to stop goals going in. And he's currently the best goalkeeper in the league at that. And he's not been nominated for the Player of the Season or for Team of the Season. Nick Pope from Arsenal or from Newcastle. Okay. Aaron Ramsdale from Arsenal. Okay, Alisson from Liverpool, all right. Leno from Fulham, Kepa from Chelsea is being nominated. Kepa from Chelsea is being nominated for potentially being goalkeeper of the season, and David De Gea is not. It's an absolute farce. It really is. It really is. And of course, then no Bruno Fernandes either. Let me just show you this stat. Most chances created from open play in the Premier League this season. Bruno Fernandes is at 71, 9 ahead of second place Kevin De Bruyne, and 20 ahead of third place Saka and Odegaard. Okay, and he is not being even nominated to be in the Team of the Season. It's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. Martin Odegaard, fair enough. Kevin De Bruyne, fair enough. Casemiro, Rodri, fair enough. Gamiresh from Newcastle, brilliant. McAllister, yeah. Pelina from Fulham. James Maddison from Leicester is getting nominated, and Bruno isn't. Couple of Brighton players, no problem with that. Bentancur from Spurs and Højbjerg from Spurs. My God, whoever is doing this is just simply away with the fairies. Away with the fairies. This is the biggest joke. It's the absolute biggest joke. So it is. So yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Anyway, United players being given the cold shoulder for the Team of the Season. But anyway, sure, look, what can you do? We're too busy winning competitions. But anyway, some good news. Well, I suppose silver lining, every cloud and all that kind of stuff. Lisandro Martinez has undergone surgery, obviously, for his injury that he sustained last week. And it's been a success, which is good to hear. And obviously, we know that he is going to miss the rest of the season. So it is good news that he is, or that his surgery has been a success. We know he's not going to be back this season. So it's good to just make sure, get himself fit and healthy, ready to go for the start of next season. And I'm sure he will have a bee in his bonnet to have a better season next year than he did this year. Now, while we're talking about Lisandro Martinez and the defence in general. I'd like to know what anybody that's watching, and it's in the comments there, in relation to the back four. So obviously there's been a lot of changes to the back four in the last couple of weeks, given the injuries that we have. I'd like to know, on the basis and on the back of the Nottingham Forest performance, where we've seen Delors playing at left back and playing really well, are all of a sudden we're looking at now some new options in defence in relation to maybe our strongest 11 for the remainder of the season. Me personally, I think our strongest 11 is, our strongest back four, is Wan-Bissaka at right full, Delors at left full, and then Lindelof and Shaw as our two centre backs. And we've seen how delicate we are when Harry Maguire is playing in the centre of defence again on the weekend. So, I mean, I think Luke Shaw coming back, I think he is due back this week, whether it's for Thursday night or whether it'll be on the weekend. I'm not 100% sure. We'll do a match preview. I'll have it uploaded for tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have more in relation to Luke Shaw before then. But I certainly think that our best back four at the moment would be Delors left back, Wan-Bissaka right back, Lindelof and Luke Shaw as our two centre backs. Oshin says, football's gone soft. Butcher will be on the bench for Thursday night. I wouldn't be surprised if anyone would do it. It would be him. But look, good news that his operation was a success. If we're moving on then, guys, and talking about the other end of the pitch, obviously a striker has been a main talking point for us in relation to building in the summer. Bobber says, I'd be happy with Shaw to play centre-back in some games if needed. Anybody but Maguire. Yeah, I think the majority of United fans are in the same boat. Anybody but Maguire. But look, when we're talking about strikers, guys, obviously this man has been linked with us quite heavily. And we've got some competition if we're going to want to sign him in the summer. Man United, Bayern and Chelsea are tracking Victor Osimhen. The player is a big Premier League fan, but open for a Bundesliga comeback too. Napoli would demand more than €100 million. So, look, we are going to have some competition for Osimhen in the summer. We really are. And look, I mean, if you're going to go out and trying to sign one of the best strikers in world football at the moment, you are going to have some competition. You really are. Bayern and Chelsea, stiff opposition when it comes to trying to sign a top-class striker in the summer. We know Bayern want one, and we know Chelsea are desperate for one as well. And I don't know how it's going to go for Chelsea this summer, whether they could afford to go out and splurge again. They probably don't need to buy an awful lot. If they go out and spend 100 million on Osimhen, that's goal sorted in their team. They probably just need to maybe get in another centre-back, I think. But, I mean, if Osimhen is going to be looking to come to the Premier League, does he go to a Chelsea who are not in European football? He's doing really well in the Champions League this year, Osimhen is, with Napoli. Or does he come to a Manchester United, that can offer him, hopefully, Champions League football? So, I mean, you could toss a coin between him and Harry Kane, and there's a lot of people kind of debating whether it should be Kane or whether it should be Victor Osimhen for the summer. And me personally, I'm slightly leaning towards Harry Kane. I won't lie. And I've said this before. It's because Harry Kane basically will guarantee you goals in the Premier League. And we want to be challenging for the Premier League. As good as Osimhen is, and as well as he's playing for Napoli, he hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League. That's not to say he won't, but if you're looking for guaranteed goals in the Premier League, I think Harry Kane is the man. Obviously, Victor Osimhen has, age on his side as well. I think, 5 years younger than, nearly 6 years younger than Harry Kane. So you would get a lot more longevity out of Osimhen. But, I mean, if you're looking for an instant impact to challenge for the Premier League, I don't think you can look past Harry Kane. I really don't. Nearly have that kind of Van Persie effect more than anything. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes It really is. Another area, guys, that we are... Sorry, before we get on to that, we'll have a look here. Oshin is saying, Chelsea, Liverpool and Spurs will find it hard to sign anybody during the window. They'll have to be careful for FFP and having no European soccer, which will mean they will have to pay big wages. I completely agree, Oshin. And on the back end of not having European football, the sponsorship deals are not there. The TV revenue is not there. So the purse strings are going to be tight for the teams that don't make Champions League football. Chris says, so you want to take 30-year-old Kane over 24-year-old Osman for the same money? The money doesn't bother me. Money doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. It's not my money. It's not going to affect the overall structure of Manchester United, or if both of these players are going to be coming in for the same money, then your transfer kitty and your transfer plans are basically the same if you're factoring in getting one of these players. I really don't mind who it is. I'm just solely basing my decision on goals in the Premier League. Who is the best in the last 10 years at scoring goals in the Premier League in world football? Who has done it? Harry Kane. He's the best Premier League goal scorer of the last 10 years. That's what I'm basing it on. And I think if we want to challenge for the league, who better to have up front than Harry Kane with Marcus Rashford on the left and whoever is on the right, whether it's Anthony or Sancho or Amad Diallo or whoever it may be. I just think Kane guarantees you goals. I really do. I really do. Oshin says Kane is proven in the league, and that's what I'm solely based on. I have nothing against Osman. I think he's a fantastic footballer, and if we do go out and get Osman, I will be delighted. I really, really, really will, because I think he can do a fantastic job for United. But guaranteed goals, it has to be Harry Kane. Just has to be. Right, midfield, and look, we're all slowly but surely falling more and more in love with this guy, the better the performances he put in. Now, unfortunately, he did get injured in the warm-up, and we've yet to really hear the extent of his injury. But a lot of positive talk coming out that Sabitzer's return to Bayern Munich is still very unlikely in the summer, and this is coming from Plettigol, who is a German Sky Sports reporter. So pretty decent sources here, and look, I think for the money that we're kind of being quoted for Sabitzer here, I think it would be an absolute no-brainer to sign him in the summer. I really do. If we could get him for anywhere between 20 and 25 million, fantastic. Go and get him, because we probably do need two central midfielders in the summer. If we're going to be going for a Frankie de Jong or a Jude Bellingham and letting the likes of a Scott McTominay go and a Donny van de Beek go, for example, signing if it's a Bellingham or a de Jong along with a Sabitzer, that is a massive upgrade on Donny van de Beek and Scott McTominay. It really is. And if you can get Sabitzer in for under the 30 million mark, take the hand and all. Really, really would. I've been impressed with him as the games have gone on. I said it early on that I wasn't kind of sure what type of midfielder he was, but in the last couple of games, he's really shown he loves making that third man run, nearly playing as a number 8, getting in behind the defence. I've been really, really impressed with him, I have to say. I really, really have. Chris says, Kane would have a Ronaldo effect. He cares about himself and the record. If he wanted to win trophies, he would have already left. Well, he did. He wanted to leave and go to Man City a couple of seasons ago, and he didn't. He was, I won't say forced to stay, but he ended up staying. Now, I have no problem with a striker wanting to beat the Premier League goal scoring record if he's playing for my club. If my striker, what is he on at the moment? Let me just have a quick check here. Kane, Premier League goals. Let me have a look here. 206. So he has 206 goals. So he has 55 goals to beat Shearer's record. Okay, so I have no problem with a goal scorer wanting to beat a record if he's playing for my team. I really don't. That means he wants to score 55 goals minimum in the Premier League before he retires. That's no problem with me. Just make sure he's in my team when he wants to do it. You know what I mean? So I have no problems with that at all. I really don't. And let him go do it. Let him go do it. Let him go do it as long as he's playing in my team. And look, guys, we're going to finish up finally with some good news. And that is of Garnacho is back in training. He posted this on his Instagram the other day. And again, good to hear. Obviously, we've been ravaged with injuries over the last couple of weeks. So it's good to see that some of the players are starting to filter their way back into training, which is good. Obviously, the more players we can get back for the business end of the season, the better. So looking forward to getting Garnacho back, and hopefully he can have a positive impact between now and the end of the season for Manchester United as well. So really, really looking forward to that. Chris says you can't have that to the detriment of how the team needs to play. No, it won't be though. It really won't. Do you think Ten Hag is going to allow that to happen? Absolutely not. And I think we've seen Harry Kane change his game down through the years. I mean, when he was playing under Mourinho, before Mourinho came along, he was basically a 6-yard box striker. And Mourinho came in and wanted him to play a lot deeper, and he changed his game and played it. So I think Harry Kane can adapt. Pink boots, though, says Oshin. I know, I'm not a big fan of the pink boots myself. And Chris says, I like this 9 a.m. newscast. Yeah, so 9 a.m. your time, Chris, 2 p.m. my time. I think it's probably a better way of doing it for me as well, because I can do it on my lunch break in work. So happy days. But yeah, guys, look, really enjoyed it. If you haven't already done so, smash a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the thumbs up button for me. Hit the subscribe button. We're closing in on 3,000 subscribers. If you haven't already done so, let me know your thoughts in relation to all of the topics we discussed. Let me know in the comment section below. We will be back for the members only chat tomorrow night at 7:30. So if you want to become an official member and join us for that, link is in the description. Go out and check some of the options there. Of course, we'll be back then Thursday night for the watch along. Massive one against Sevilla. Really need a result in it. But yeah, appreciate it. Chris, Oshin, legends, OGs of the channel, as usual. Appreciate it, guys. I will chat to ye tomorrow night, hopefully. But yeah, let me know on the Discord if you're available. Anyone else, make sure you're following us. We have a Discord. We have a Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of that good stuff. United Community Channel throughout all of our social medias. Go check it out. But until tomorrow, take care.